Good morning, everybody. Thanks for stopping by to check out the Today in AZ After Show. If you follow us on social media, you may have seen us teasing a special guest this morning.
Yes.
That guest is here. There's a baby leopard cub.
He's so cute.
About a stone's throw away on the other side of that wall. It's very cute. It's very bitey.
Super cuddly.
And we're going to have it on the show in just a few minutes. But first, we do have a serious topic to get to. There's quite the juxtaposition, by the way the show is structured. It's something very serious up front and then fun and games on the back end. So let's get through the serious stuff. Okay. And then we'll get to the fun and games. First of all, introductions. Crystal, Paul, Rachel, and Jen, thanks for watching the after show. We brought this topic up this morning on Today in AZ. There's a bill right now that's being put up by a Jacksonville legislator that might change the way religion is taught in public schools. Our question for you this morning is, do you think public schools should be required to offer religion classes? That Jacksonville lawmaker submitted a bill which would require Florida schools to offer theology classes as an elective. Now, that bill also wants to require a Bible literacy course, specifically the Bible, focused on the Old and New Testament. We must insist, however, one last time, that this is an elective, not a mandatory course. If it was mandatory, it would fly in the face of the First Amendment and be tossed out outright. However, because it's an elective, there might be some wiggle room, a very thin line in the way the First Amendment is constructed. We want to hear what you have to think about this. So post in the comment section below. We'll share your remarks as the show rolls along. Ladies, we'll start with you. What do you think?
Yeah.
No takers.
Let's actually. Oh my gosh,
you
should.
We talked about it further this morning, but I think they're trying to get around it by saying this is an elective that all schools are required to have. The sticking points, of course, being that they're focusing only on the Bible and on other religions, where I would see that would be probably more beneficial, maybe more fair. But then we were saying, where does it start and end when it comes to all the different religions, thousands out there? So I don't know. I can't imagine it getting very far. I think is my short answer. My long to the short answer?
Bills like this have been entertained in the past, and they've found obviously the same problems that we're bringing up here when it comes to violating the First Amendment. So the way that it's written, there's two parts to it. There's one part that says the government can't restrict your religion, but it also cannot restrict your means of practicing it. And that applies to public schools as well. So if someone at school wants to say a prayer before lunch, they can't stop you from doing that. But the school cannot prefer one religion over another. So a school can't offer an elective course in Christian theology and not offer up an alternative in another religion. So to me, I think that this flies in the face of the First Amendment. If they were to teach just a basic theology course or a history of world religion course without any practicing of the religion or without sticking to one specific doctrine, I think that might be okay. But this has been legislated a long time ago, decades ago this was handled.
Maybe it'd be better, first of all, to not require the school, but also maybe it'd be better as a club.
Like outside.
Yeah, maybe it would serve better there.
They can do that with like Bible study, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can still do that.
Yeah, but it's not sponsored by the school necessarily.
Right.
I mean, unless you're going to a Christian school, but that's a private school. That wouldn't be a public school.
Yeah.
So Brandy says, no, this is what Sunday church is for. And her sentiment was echoed by a lot of the viewers we had on the show this morning who more or less said, this is for mom and dad and for church, not for schools. Joy says, yes, you should teach it as an elective since language is an elective in middle school. I'm confused, though, Joy, as to why you would equate religion to language. If you could clarify your remarks a little bit, we'd be happy to read your follow-up response. Fernando says, no, that should be up to the family to teach religion, not the state. Loretta chiming in to say the same thing. No, separation of church and state is still very much a thing.
Jessica says, as a teacher and a parent, I say absolutely not. It's not the school's place to teach religious fundamentals. That should be done with the home church. I think think about the outrage that would be present if we suggested that schools must offer a course in the Quran. So
yeah, no, it would
kind of right. Yeah,
if the shoe was on the other foot, this would be an entirely different story.
Yeah, Christy's going with kind of the same thing we were talking about. More so that would be appropriate is that world religions type of a course where you're learning about all different religions and not necessarily, it's just teaching that the whole idea that one religion is right is no longer acceptable when you have such a blended community, as she says. So kind of being open-minded, learning about everything.
I think two things. If you were to make it a world religion course, that could be acceptable. I think that students could benefit from that, learning tolerance. parents.
Yeah.
Especially we have so many things happening in the world right now that could potentially help with some of these hate crimes that we have. And then the second part of this, where I see it being an issue, is teachers and schools are already facing so many cutbacks. I mean, they're struggling to teach core concepts. We are losing recess, we're losing the arts, we're having mental health problems. So then to require another course on top of that that only serves a certain population, I don't think serves the entire school well. And I say that coming from someone who attends church regularly.
Right.
Valerie says, why not? An elective, sure, they teach mythology. I think the difference here, though, Valerie, is that we're well beyond the golden age of mythology, and that we know that those aren't real stories. We're not preaching it as something that you should live your life by. There are still billions of practicing Christians that believe the things in the Bible are true. We don't believe that the things that happen in mythological stories are true. We don't think that Zeus descended from on high in Olympus and impregnated a bunch of women and then they became deities. We understand that those are parables and stories. And while a lot of you are saying that Christianity is all written in parables and stories, there are still plenty of literalists that take the stories in the Bible as truth and as fact and as gospel, no pun intended. I learned a lot from theology and philosophy courses in college that taught me about the world around me and gave me a greater appreciation for the things that people believe and why they believe them. I don't think that subject matter is necessarily suitable for high school students, first. And secondly, unless you're going to teach it all, it's illegal. You really honestly can't do this.
Right.
I'd like to see the verbiage in the bill that's put forth by that Jacksonville lawmaker. I'd like to see exactly how they worded it, because I have to think that they're very careful about the way that it skirts the First Amendment. Amy weighs in to say the only thing that they should be teaching is the Pledge of Allegiance. There's nothing they can learn from a Bible today or tomorrow. We need to teach them what's going on in the world today so they can be educated and set up for their future.
And I think Beth has a point that teachers may be unable to keep their opinions to themselves it would be a challenge to not share their opinions in a religious course. And I think that would be something that would be very difficult to monitor and make sure all these teachers that are offering all these public schools are offering the exact same lesson in this religious course. I don't know. I think it's tough. It's a slippery slope on this one.
It would have to be very historically based, going back to why they believe what they believe. Here are the events that happened in history that we know happened for these factual reasons.
There's so much interpretation with the Bible that we deal with every day. Everybody has their own interpretation, I think, of it. And in some ways, rightfully so. That's part of the good book, is you're supposed to be able to read it and take from what you can of it. But people definitely personalize it to their own experience. Yeah.
All right, guys, we appreciate you joining the discussion. We'll take a little break from it and check out our ICYMI. In case you missed this morning on Today in AZ, you missed this.
We know to take our calls outside, wipe down the machines after we use them, but experts say being mindful is also really important and can actually improve your workout. The American Council of Exercise says if you're going to do a workout class, make sure you're focused, you're on time, and don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're not sure how to do something, just ask, because the time you spend messing it up can actually ruin the workout for you and others around you. I think that's so true. When you get to a class, you just got to be focused on what you're doing. Try to enjoy it. Ask your questions when you need to. That's what they're there for.
Talk about gym etiquette. I always just get frustrated with people that sit on machines and text the whole time. And then I catch myself doing it too. But I've got like secret mental rivalries with guys at the gym where I'm like, dude, if you don't get off that machine in the next 3 or 4
Definitely
minutes.
have a time limit.
He's slowing me down.
Yeah. And how about not taking video of yourself during the class? You know, I'm talking
there's
to
nothing.
you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
This is the
So I
selfie,
was
guys.
in a class. So I joined this new gym, and it was definitely not for families, not for people of a certain age. It was a lot of young people. And there was this girl who would always stand in the front of our class. And I'm not kidding you. She would take video, like we're on the floor doing exercises. And she literally was like, with her leg and her lips and the whole thing, like taking video of herself and sending it during the class. Oh my goodness. I was horrified. It was so distracting. I couldn't get past it. It was so annoying.
If you go to the gym and don't take a picture of yourself at the gym, did you really go to the gym?
Hey, to your texting point, okay, I gotta be honest here. Sometimes my gym time is my 1 hour to myself where I get to put the kids in the gym daycare.
Yes.
And sometimes I am so tired that I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit on the stairs in a slow pace and shop on Amazon. And it is glorious.
Awesome.
It
Are
is
you in
glorious.
full workout gear?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
It's better
Like,
than
this
sitting.
is free childcare. I gotta take
Yes.
advantage.
As long as you're not sitting on a machine that other
you're
people
not
need
bothering
to use.
anybody else.
Go crazy. Enjoy
Do
your me
what
time.
you will with your
I
personal time.
definitely am very aware of who might want my machine, and I go in the dark theater room. Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
it so heaven?
I'm like a little vampire in there.
Theater room in there? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta check out your
Gym
gym.
pet peeves? Anyone?
No, I do all my working out at home, so.
Nobody can bother you.
So
No one can
crowds
bother
would
me.
be your
You don't
pet
have to
peeve
bother me.
around other people.
My motivation is just if I don't do it right here, right now,
Yeah.
I'm going to lose the motivation. So I just do it right then, right there.
That's pretty good. No, I think honestly, people are so annoying sometimes at gyms that I just don't do gyms. I just don't like them because
loud
it's
grunting.
It's and the ones that and
Yeah.
they drop it on the
Yeah.
ground, bang.
Cool,
and
Brad.
The
crash.
guys that put on a show, it's a little much.
We had
I've
a
seen some people
girl,
get into it about that
we had a girl at
before.
our gym that she would always like chomp gum in the class, like super loud, like a horse. They're just, but I get annoyed by a lot of things, so it's just. That's why I just said I can't do it anymore. I can't be in the gym atmosphere.
That's why I go in the dark room.
So the universal rules are you're not supposed to talk about politics or religion on a first date. And since I've never even been on a first date with any of you, I think we're going to leave the religion where it lies. If you'd like to continue the discussion, it's there in the comments section. And there are people on both sides of this issue that would love
Yes.
to rant and rave about it. But the four of us won't do that anymore because there's a baby leopard outside. So get up, let's go.
on, guys.
We're going outside to meet
Field
our new
trip.
friend.
I can get off this
If you
chair.
follow us on social media, you saw we already posted pictures of this cute cub. Did someone get a name, by the way?
Ooh, no, not yet.
We can
Oh, we're going to get in just a second.
Ask
Christy
Christy.
Morcom from Wildlife World Zoo and Aquarium, hanging out outside right now. Christy, we're live on Facebook Live, and we see that you still have our friend out here with us.
Yes, I do.
Can we start with a name?
Okay, so her name is Polly. She's very rambunctious, very playful. She's probably one of the most playful cubs I have ever worked with. She's a little clouded leopard cub, just a couple months old, and she's so tiny, but that's because even as adults, they only get up to 50 pounds, which
It's a house cat.
Wow.
right. Very large house cat. And you can see she is just so playful. Now these clouded leopards, although they have a very small size, their canine teeth are the largest relative to their body size of any of the cats.
So she can tear you up.
Oh yes, yes. These guys are fantastic hunters and predators. And full grown, their canine teeth are about 2 inches long, which to put that in perspective for you is as big as a tiger's
Wow.
canine teeth. Yeah.
So I learned that her nails are also very sharp.
Oh, they
when I
are.
tried to do the whole, got me again.
Yeah, her nails are really sharp. So it's just one of those things you have to be really aware of. She's definitely a wild animal and very playful. So right now she's looking at us as toys, and she gets really excited when she sees us and wants to play. But we're trying to redirect that playful attention to toys instead of us.
Are your hands just calloused over with bite marks? Because I noticed you're not even reacting to getting chomped on.
Yeah, I think I'm just desensitized
at
to
this
it.
point.
Yeah.
So how old is she again?
So she's just a couple months old, and they get the name clouded leopard because of the beautiful spots that she has. They resemble clouds. And she also has a very long tail, and that's because these guys are arboreal, which means they spend a lot of time up in the trees. And her tail is going to help her with balance as they're climbing through the trees. And she also has very flexible back ankles.
Wow.
And that allows her to run head first down a tree like a squirrel.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Even
Yes.
at full
Wow.
weight.
Oh yeah, yeah. These
now,
guys.
what's their normal environment, and how do they do here?
Okay, so these guys are going to be found in southeastern parts of Asia. And unfortunately, their habitat's being destroyed. And they're also being poached for their skin, meat, and bones. So these guys are not doing very well in their natural range. They are endangered, their numbers are decreasing.
Okay.
And they are not only rare out in the wild, they're also very rare under human care. So clouded leopards are not one of those cats that people usually get the opportunity to see, like tigers and lions and some of the more common cats that you're going to find under human care. So it's really amazing that we have one of these clouded leopards at Wildlife World, and we're building her an all-new exhibit especially designed for clouded leopards.
Wow.
Yes, it's going to be back in our new Safari Park expansion. You got to be careful. Her teeth and claws.
She's gonna get you.
I'm desensitized to it, but it could be a little
It could be
startling
shocking for me.
sometimes. Yeah.
So how did you guys get her? Is she the only one you had?
She is the only one we have right right now.
Okay.
She was born at another zoo, and our hand-raising team's now raising her inside our baby animal nursery.
Okay.
So people can come out and watch her being cared for.
Wow.
And our plans are to get another clouded leopard for her over in our new safari park expansion once that area is complete, and it'll be complete the beginning of next year.
So will she be able to mate? Is that the goal? Are we trying to hook her up? What's going on?
We are.
Playing matchmaker.
Right? Yeah, that is the plan.
This is like a Bachelor in Paradise situation for the clouded leopard. I'm really excited.
Right?
In my free time, I love to chew on my
exciting.
toys and
But it's so
scratch
sad to
humans.
hear. The numbers are dwindling so quickly. It's awful.
I know, it's terrible. So she is a fantastic ambassador for her species.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, not only do people not get the opportunity to see these animals very often, but you don't hear about clouded leopards very often either.
It's so important, the work that you guys do, and I think a lot of people may not realize all the conservation work that you do. You must work with other places really around the world.
Absolutely.
In this
So
effort.
Our breeding programs are very heavily managed, and there's so much that goes into a breeding program that the general public just isn't aware about. And you really have to manage these programs very closely because these are the programs that are going to potentially sustain the species if they do go extinct from the wild.
Yeah, it's so important. We appreciate the work you guys do. It's so awesome. What a unique experience to be able to come out there right in our backyard and be able to see one of these. A very rare experience.
So what other new attractions do you have out at the Wildlife World Zoo?
Well, this weekend, the 19th, we are doing our Wild About Childhood Cancer Awareness fundraiser. So it's going to be a great time to come out. We're partnering with lots of amazing partners like Anchored King Screen Printing. They're going to be donating all of the t-shirts that are going to be available that look just like this.
Yeah.
And with a $20 donation, you not only save $5 off you and everyone in your party, you get an amazing t-shirt. 100% of the proceeds are going to go towards Arizona Foundation for Cancer for
That's
Children.
great.
Yeah, so wonderful time to come out. Lee Pereira is going to be performing in Dillon's from 11 to 2, accepting donations. 100% of those proceeds are also going to go to the foundation, and Rideables is going to be out there. Those are those really fun little animals you can ride around. So for the
cool.
first time ever, people are going to get the opportunity to ride those around the zoo. And they are also donating 100% of their proceeds to the foundation. So we're making it really easy to come out, enjoy the zoo at a discounted price, and support a really important cause.
I'm going to let Crystal move in because the weather this weekend is going to be perfect for your big event.
You really couldn't have picked a better weekend.
I know.
Oh, are you going to like that weather, sweetie?
We're so excited.
Cute. I know. Watch the hand. Watch the hand.
It's like you're wrestling a slinky over there. I don't know how you keep like a
Slinky
grip.
with really sharp
With claws, yeah.
and teeth.
I mean, really, all outdoor events are in luck this weekend because we will have sunshine, but it's not going to be hot like it is today.
Yeah.
A nice little weather maker is going to, it's kicking up the winds today. Okay, we can get through that, but then it's going to knock back those temperatures, upper 80s for highs with that sunshine. It's going to be fantastic. There are no excuses not to come out.
I know. We're so excited. And it's the first time we're putting on this fundraiser. And it's something we want to grow every year, but we are hitting it big this year. We want it to be a success and raise a lot of money for the Arizona Foundation for Cancer in Children.
Okay, Jen, it's almost time to say goodbye, but you're the only one that hasn't been clawed up by this question.
Come on, Jen, your turn.
When does she run out of energy?
Yeah, right.
Never.
That's what I want to know.
It's so funny because being a little cub, she's very similar to our babies at home and our kids at this age, where she's full of energy.
Yeah.
And then she just gets tired and takes a little cat nap.
So she'll sleep on the way home.
Yes,
She will.
exactly.
Every other child
Yeah.
in the valley.
And she's not
She
stopped
will.
moving since you guys got here.
It's so funny because she's really difficult to get a picture of.
Yes, I tried.
Yeah. So if you're trying to get a
Maybe
picture,
video.
that's the best way. You can take a video and then you have to get a screenshot of it because she just moves nonstop.
So cute.
So playful and
Kristen,
so
thank
amazing.
you for stopping by and bringing a friend with you. You're welcome on our show any day of the week.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, guys, that'll wrap up the Today in AZ After Show. Thanks for spending part of your morning with us. We're back here tomorrow at 7:30. Probably another engaging topic. Probably not another cute animal, unfortunately. That was a special guest appearance. Be good today, people. We'll see you.